Cool, cool. Got that going. What is this like canceled? You said no news today, but I see news posted. So what did it get like canceled or what? Ah, okay, okay. U.S. government shutdown, huh? Brother, just like why is it all right here and then I gotta go find it? I don't really want to read like biased news though. Eh, whatever. All I need to know is it's not getting released. That's all that matters to me. Cancel culture strikes again. Oof. All right, so here's my first 5 minutes of price, right here. I'm gonna wait on the second 5 minutes to close, and then what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be looking at targets and balance areas, right? So balance in the market is where the market makers are accepting fair price, right? So while we wait, I'll just kind of explain my theory on this, right? And it's not my theory. This is just auction market theory. Um, but this is how the market works with institutions, right? This isn't future. I mean, this isn't retail trader based. This is like institutional um, concepts, right? So right here we have some sideways price, right? Lots of sideways price actually on gold. So this is going to be considered fair price, right? So from here to about here is fair price. The only thing that I mean by this is that price is moving in a range, right? Um, so institutions, they're stacking orders and they're trying to see which way they want to move the market. I don't trade this kind of movement. This kind of movement right here isn't for me. I try to avoid it, right? What I'm looking for is whenever we get this push out of this fair price, where the next area of fair price is going to be. It's hard to see right here on the 15 minute, but you can see it pretty clear on the 5, right? Sellers try to push it down, they can't. Buyers try to push it up, they can't. Sellers finally take over. Then we get a break of structure, okay, right here. Right, and so then this leg from here down is unfair price. Right, so what I mean by this is that sellers have taken advantage of the market and institutions are now buying back, right? So all their sell orders they're buying back and essentially dumping them off, and then they're loading up on buy positions, right? So as retail traders are trying to sell right here, 2 more minutes. As retail traders are selling this move, institutions are buying this up, right? So as we're selling, 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 they're buying, 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 buying. Okay, and then we get down to a push, right? And now this is going to be where they fake you out, right? So next push through, retail trader thinks it's going to go lower. They're grabbing all of your money, right? So many entries are right here. So many sell entries are right here, right past this low. They grab all your money and now they're pushing it back up. And so you can see this on a 15 minute, right? We have fair price right here. We have an expansion down. This is a deviation wick, right? So this is where price is going to turn around at. This is where they're wicking you out and they're going to start turning it around because they have all these buy orders they put in and now they want price to come up, right? So now they're pushing price up, and then it's going to come back up to here. And then this is where price will be decided again if it's fair or not. So all I'm looking for is a close outside this 10 minutes that's about to print. And I'm pretty biased towards the upside because I'm aware, one, we're in an uptrend, right? Low, higher low, higher low. Two, I know that this is a deviation wick out of a fair balance area with an expansion, so I know that price has to redeliver this area, right? What I mean by that is this price right here isn't fair, so all this needs to get redelivered to basically balance out the market and make it fair again, right? This is what CME's job is. This is why they regulate the market. Their job is to keep the market fair. So you can see this all day long. It's fractal. You can see this on a 1 second time frame. You can see this on a 1 hour time frame. The moves are just going to be different, right? Like on a 1 second time frame, it might be a couple points. On a 1 hour time frame, it might be, extra 10, 20 points. Point being is it'll show up a lot more on a smaller time frame. I like to do it on the 5 and 15. And this is pretty much just how I trade every single day. So right here, I now have the first 10 minutes of price, and I'm going to look for price to close outside one way or the other. I'll take it either way, but we have some balance right here, right? And again, this is just where price is moving horizontal in the market, right? And so now my targets, if it's long, I'm going to target this. If it's short, I'll target this. And then that'll be my day, right? This is 10 points. It's like 20 points. And I do the same thing on NASDAQ, you guys. Like, I just don't do it during New York session. But I'll show you. We can go back to the beginning of this week. Monday, right here, right? So beginning of this week, first 10 minutes of price. Wait for your close outside. Stop goes on the opposite side of the box. Comes up, test to halfway. You're printing money all day. What is this? 608, 710. That's like 100 points. Okay. Now let's say you missed that one. You get this one. Right? Same type thing. Stop goes below it. You see this wick. Stop needs to go below this wick right here. That wick's down. This is going to be your liquidity grab. Comes up. Pushes up. 96. That's 30 points. I don't know if I would have been in this long, so I'm saying 30. And then remember, I don't do New York with the NQ strategy. Or I don't use this strategy in New York on NQ, I mean. But same right here, right? First 10 minutes of price. Wait for a close outside. Okay, what is this? 645, 72, that's another 30 points. Let's see, where's gold at? I just don't like to trade New York NQ. It's just super wicky. Like, it's really manipulated, you know? Like, that's probably the most manipulated session on NQ is New York. But if it works, it works. If you see an edge and you can use it, go for it. We're about to take our buy here. Is this frozen? Yes. How much time do I have? A minute and a half. Let's see if it'll connect first try. Alrighty. And now I just want to see this close. I'll take my buy. I'll put my stop on the other side. So what is this? 901, 94. So I can really only trade like 2 micros on this if it goes above and closes right here. But again, this is just to keep my risk in check, right? Because I can't control whether this is going to actually push or not. The only thing I can do is control my risk every day. Alright, I'm just going to get ready for it to close. Alright, I took my buy. I'm going to refresh this now again. Put my stop below the zone. It needs to go right below that wick. Right, so what is this, like an 8-point stop? Not the best today, but with 2 micros, that's 160 bucks. So, you know, well within my risk. And then I'm going to be targeting. Oh, that's right, I can't really see it on the 15. So I'm going to look for it to push into this now. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. I can't control the market. Like I tell you guys, the only thing I control is my risk. So I'm going to keep my risk in check. If I get stopped out, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and trade all day. It's Friday. I'm going to go to the beach or something, enjoy the weekend, right? Come back Monday with a fresh mind. I'm not going to sit here and end my week chasing and then blowing up an account, right? If I take a loss, I just let it be. I continue to let the edge play out. And everybody's happy. Anybody have any questions? Last night on NASDAQ, skipping Q. Right, like trading doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to know a million different things. You don't have to know all these patterns. Right? It's really just about managing your risk and understanding what works over a long period of time. I mean, what is this like? So what is this? 1, 2, 3. Oh shit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. You would have gone 9 for 10 this week on NASDAQ trading like this. Right? The only one you would have lost is last night in London. Just gonna check on our trade. See what she do. Take profit's gonna be up here. The actual number is like 1.6. I'll probably scale one out before then, though. Um, what do you mean, like a bracket order by ATM setting, Joe? Yeah, you can place a bracket order right here. You can do it how you like. I'm not super familiar with placing bracket orders. I've never really done it. I usually just read the chart like this and then place them. But I know it does have the ability to do it. I'm just like I said, I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not gonna start trying to test it out right now. But I'm not familiar with it on any platform. That's not the way I enter. So, yo, what up, Norwood? Yeah, exactly. Pastillas. Quico pastilla. Yeah, right. Like I trade like an hour, 2 hours a day. You know, nowhere near 8 hours. Like maybe 10 hours a week. 40 hours a month probably. And just like this, right? Like super easy. And I do the same strategy on gold, right? Like first 10 minutes, wait for a close outside, comes up, pushes down, right? The only difference is I'll trade the New York session with this strategy on gold, right? Close, come down, and just make sure once you start pushing down that you move. People will say that it's an opening range breakout strategy, but I don't really look at any strategies, man. Like, yeah, I do. I could post the link for you. If any of you guys want to join, we do a giveaway every Saturday. You don't have to be VIP. You don't have to be a paying member. Anybody can be a part of it. We're gonna do a 50k funded futures network evaluation tomorrow. Um, the only thing is, if you aren't a paying member, you have to be there when I spin the wheel, or you can't be entered. Um, that's just the most fair way I can do it, right? I can't just enter you because you're in the server. But if you're like VIP or something, then I'm working on a way to make it where you don't have to be there if you're a paying member. Because that's the most fair way. But yeah, I trade like this Monday through Friday. I do 10 streams a week. Um, I guess technically 9 streams because there's not a Tokyo session tonight. But this is how I trade every single day. It's super kickback, super chill, right? The biggest and most important thing is just managing your risk. Like I said, I actually legitimately don't care where this goes. Obviously, I would love for it to come in my way. Um, did we just push? Oh, I'm looking around Norwood like where. Uh, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it goes in my direction or if it stops me out because my risk is never gonna like defeat my account, right? Like I'm never gonna have a trade that's just gonna completely ruin my account. And look, you can still make good money with just 2 micros. Like we're already up $100. I'll have to refresh this again. I'm gonna watch out for it right here. I might try to reject at 13 before it pushes up to this next zone. Um, I'm just gonna look at it at this one before it comes to the next one. Yeah, I'll go over the rules in just a minute on screen. Let me just manage this trade correctly. Let me take one off here, and then I'm gonna move my stop up to break even. And then I'm gonna drop down to like a 30 second, and I want to watch this on price action right here, right? And I'm just gonna trail my stop. right? Because price shouldn't come past this white line if it's going to keep going up. Okay, let it stop me out. I'll take my money. Oh. See, it closes right above the white line. It wants to try, but it can't. Alright, you're looking for closes usually on candles. Even on a 30-second, you want to look for closes. I'll give it like 1, 2 extra ticks. Check back on the 5. See it on the 3. Alright, we're one time framing on the 3-minute right here. Let's see what we're doing on the 2. Just about the same. Oof. Hello. If you ever have a ghost order like this, if you can't see it, just come down here and click modify, and then you don't have to change anything, just press modify and it'll show back up. That's a good trick for you guys if it never shows up. I'm really ready for them to update this web profile to save whatever you have drawn on it. Like, I'm so ready for that. Oh, this doesn't make sense. Oh, I was like, how am I below the stop? Did we fill it on the 1 minute? Nice, nice. Very nice. Okay, we probably pushed into the target now. As I say this, it's gonna hear me and like turn around. So I'm gonna be like, oh yeah? You think so? Mm-hmm. Right, and so from right here, I'm looking for 08 to 13. So what is that? 50, 60 bucks, because it's basically 14. So I'm gonna allow $10 of risk to potentially make another 60 bucks, right? But I'm not gonna give back my whole trade. Like I'm gonna lock in. You already saw me lock in 65 or 60, and then I'm gonna make sure I lock in at least another $50. But I don't have to be perfect right here, right? Like I can let this, I can give it a little bit of wiggle room and risk from 60 to 50, right? So basically $10 of risk to make from 8.5 to 14, 13.5. So another 50 bucks, right? That's a 1 to 5 risk. So that's why I'm not closing this out. That's why I'm going to let it run. But if it was skewed the other way, right? Like if it was like 10 or 20 bucks and this is $10, like I might as well go ahead and take my profit right there, right? Okay, so there we go. Right? Done for the day. Okay? And then we can just walk through the trades now. All right? And that's how I trade every day, you guys. Like it doesn't have to be super. You don't have to sit here all day long, right? Like I just made $100, and what I tell my students every day is if you can't trade a micro and make money, then you should never be touching a mini, right? If you want to make mini money, you need to get so good at trading one micro that you get 10 funded accounts, right? Don't go around and fool yourself thinking you're some hot shot because you had a couple good days. Everybody has hot streaks, right? You want to trade every single day and be in these markets every single day. You need base hits, okay? You don't need $1,000 days every day. If you want a $1,000 day, get 10 accounts, have the exact same amount of risk, right? I can make a $1,000 day with 10 accounts, and I could still have 10, 15 trades like this on those accounts. It doesn't have to be make or break in one trade, right? And then that can continue to compound. Once you get a couple of these things going, you guys, this number right here just starts to grow and grow, and you don't ever have to do anything different. All you got to do is just add another one to your copy trader. Once you pass them, add another one. Pass them, add another one. I don't think you can add Onyx to copy traders. I don't know if they have that function yet. But point being, is it doesn't have to be right now. Your first funded account doesn't have to be the one that goes and buys you a Rari. No, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to go get you a mansion just because you got a funded account, right? Like, take it slow, be systematic with it, and the money's gonna come. Um, so let's talk about the trades, right? Let me see if I still have this drawn up. Where was it? No. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is how I trade every single day, right? 9 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. in the respective sessions. Right? So I'm not looking for market open at 9:30. Um, I'm looking for 9 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. in the respected sessions time zone. So what do I mean by that? This candle right here represents 9 a.m. in Tokyo. This candle, at whenever it closes, is the end of 9:10 a.m. So this to this is 10 minutes, right? Same thing here, right? First 10 minutes, okay? And then, of course, same thing here because we're doing it right now. Obviously, you guys know. Now, key word here is close. It has to close. It can't just wick out and come back in. It has to close. I can't spell, you guys. Right? So some days you're going to have the ability to have a larger position. What do I mean by that? Okay, for example, this 63.7, 58.3, so this is like 5.5 points, right? 6.4, 6.9, this is about 5 points, right? This one's about 5 points. Fuck, this isn't working out very well for my example. That's about 5 points. The point being is some days you'll get some that are just a lot bigger, right? You might get one that's like 10 points, 15 points, or you might get one that's like 2 points. It doesn't matter. You can't be like, oh, yesterday, like, look, this is a good example. 8.5, 7.8. So this one's about 9 points because it's like 8.55 to 7.8 something. So like this one, I would need to size about half the position of, of this one, right? Because my risk needs to be my risk is the only thing I can control, right? I can't control which way it's going to go. I can't control the size of the first 10 minutes that I'm marking up. I can only control how much money I'm going to risk, right? So I limit myself to about $200. That's why you saw today, whenever I took this trade, right? From here, 7.6 to here is about 6 points, plus my entry about 7 points. So I knew if I take any more than 3 micros, I'm over risked. So I take 2 micros because it's Friday and I'm not trying to go full port, and I just let it play out. Now let's see here. Yep. Look, here's this balance. Where does price go? Oddly enough, directly to the tick. That's fucking strange, huh? It's like I almost know exactly the perfect time to get out of the fucking market before my position turns around. How do I know this? Because it's fucking algorithmic, you guys. This has nothing to do with what you want. This has nothing to do with someone outside trying to be like, we're gonna come and take retail traders' money today, because they quite literally don't give a fuck about your money. Anything that you make in the market will never matter to an institution, because it's never gonna. It's literally one of their workers' uh, loss limits for the month is probably how much money you're going to make in the next year or two, right? So they quite literally do not care about your money. So anytime you hear anyone talking about, oh, they're coming for your money, this or that, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They're still caught up in this retail trader BS. Okay, this is algorithmic. There's a reason I'm telling you price has to be fair here. Price is fair when it moves horizontal, right? How do I know price is going to push up into it? Oh, where do you think the next one's going to go? Right here. Right? This is why the US regulates futures. This is why CME is the only person that supplies data for futures. Right? Someone has to be referee in the market. Um oh, and then lastly, okay, so I don't know, you guys want to screenshot this or something, but you're more than welcome to. Yo, what's up, Castillo? I see your friend request. I'm gonna accept it. Hey, happy to see you in here, brother. Um, no, the time is like right here, right? 9 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. in the respected sessions time zone, right? So what do I mean by that? New York, I'm gonna use New York's time zone, right? So obviously, yeah, Eastern. But London wouldn't be Eastern time. It's gonna be whatever time zone London's in, you know. And then Tokyo's gonna be whatever time zone Tokyo's in. But point being, it's 9 a.m., right? 9 a.m., 9 a.m. And like a little bit about my thought process behind this. It has nothing to do with like trading. It's more about human psychology. The people that move this market, yeah, the Wix included. Wix included, yeah. The people that move this market do this every day, you guys. Like, this is their life. This isn't something that's new to them. It's what they do every single day, right? Like, look, we push up in this balance. Where do we come down to? Halfway, 50% of the opening range, right? We retest it. We come back up. The people that do this, they do this every single day. This is what they do. They're in no rush to sit down at work and do it, right? So think about whenever you've had a job and you've been there, let's say 6 months plus, right? By the time you've been there that long, you have some routine, right? I guarantee when you show up to work and you clock in, you're not working right here. You're not clocking in and getting straight to it. You're just not. Like, in almost anywhere that you are, you're probably not going to start working until 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Where does price start to move? Right? The people that are there, they have to sit down. They got to get their coffee. They want to go and shoot the shit with their coworkers and stuff, right? They do this, like I said, they do this every single day. This is just their 9 to 5. The people that really move the market, they do this every day, right? So just it's the exact same concepts that go on in your corporate office and anywhere really, right? Even whenever you go to school, first class of the day, whenever you were growing up, did you sit down and just instantly get to it? No, teacher's gonna sit there. Teacher ain't even ready half the time. She's still getting her stuff ready. So that's my idea. That's my thought process behind this 10 minutes. That's why I don't do the first 15 minutes. Dang. Um, because this is my thought process behind it, right? Now, is this correct? I don't know. I'm no psychologist, but it seems to work out pretty damn well. Um, and I'm pretty happy with this, right? It keeps my trading extremely systematic. It keeps my trading extremely stress free, and I don't have to sit here and try to find a trade in the market, right? I know that I can, like in the morning, like I woke up this morning, I know that um, if I'm running a little late or something, it literally doesn't matter because I'm not gonna take a trade until 6:15 or 9:15 New York time. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 6 in the morning for me. But point being is like I know systematically like I'm not gonna take a trade before then because my strategy works out better when I just wait and see the direction that we're gonna move, get a close outside, take my trade, and let it run. Right? Once I'm in the positive, I'll go and I'll start protecting that money that I'm in the green on. Because, like you see, a lot of times it's going to push down and then come back, push down and come back. Um, Now, like me, I'm done. I take my one trade and I'm done for the day. But you could have exited here, entered again here, and then you'd be up again, right? Um, and like I'm saying, like on Nasdaq this week, it went nine wins out of 10 if you just ignore the New York sessions, right? So, right. So what I would be doing, I'm waiting. First 10 minutes of price, I got a box drawn around it. I'm not taking a trade here. I'm not taking a trade here. Oh, right here is where I'm going to enter. Right? Stop goes below it. I'm looking for the balance, right? So right here, this is what you're gonna have to like show up. If you want to learn how to find balance, you're gonna have to show up and just learn the concept. But yeah, that's what like Norwood he said an imbalance. Like that's kind of like the opposite of a balance, but um, same, right? Like this is what we talk about every day. Norwood is part of my server, so he's always learning. So look, you see right here, this horizontal movement. So I'm gonna go from the bottom of this, probably to the top of this, right? I'm not gonna take this wick. I'll come back and check the wick in a second if I'm wrong, but I don't think I need it. Oh shoot, I went way too far. Right here. Look, brother. You see? Like I don't guess where my take profit's gonna go. It's not like an emotion. Alright, it's systematic. That's what I'm talking about. Everything in trading is fucking math. If you're sitting here and you're emotional when you sit down, we need to work on like your psychology. We need to work on your just who you are as a person matters so much more than what you see on the chart. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think you could literally be profitable if you sit down with the coin, heads go long, tails go short, flip it once a day, take one trade, and as long as you manage your risk, how I'm telling you about, you know, as long as you, whatever position size you take, wherever you put your stop at is within the amount of risk that you're supposed to be at, then I think you could be profitable. That's how little I think strategy matters. The problem is so many people are so weak that they can't even sit here and stick to a strategy, right? They don't have the discipline to be like, oh, I'm not going to size up, right? None of that. If you can't sit here, if you can't watch a trade play out, if you don't have understanding of the way the market works and you can't work around that because you're emotional, then you're going to have a really hard time, you know, probably passing an eval, probably getting to a payout, much less having multiple accounts that are paying you out every day. Like that's just, you know, you're chasing. If you guys see people and they're posting all these big wins, this is why I don't post my payouts because I don't want any of my students sitting here chasing my payouts. Because you click on my profile, it says process over profits, and I literally live by that, right? Like I will teach people the process all day long. I will never teach somebody how to make $10,000. Right, because that's just not what I'm not sitting here trying to teach you how to make a number. I'm trying to sit here and teach you how to understand and read the market. So point being, this is how I knew that price is going to come right here, right? And let's see, can I have taken the wick? I think the wick is too high. Yeah, the wick is too high. But this is how I look for it every day, right? And you'll learn how to take balance. You'll learn how to see it better. Um, price will push into it every which way though, right? So look, there's balance right here. What has to happen before price can continue to go up? This balance has to be delivered, right? This balance has to be balanced, right? Because push away from it is unfair. This is not a fair push, right? This push out of this price, this is basically like um, when you see these unfair buys. This is kind of like in an auction. If you were trying to sell something and you had your buddy in the back, like increasing the bid every time someone else bid, hoping to get it to go up, right? It's not fair. Okay, then what happens whenever someone finds out? Oh, now we need to recorrect the price and start over, right? Now, is that what's happening here? No, it's not like they're like, oh, we didn't know this was happening. We need to correct the price. But that's like to give you kind of a visual of why this is more of an auction. This is an ongoing auction that happens all day long, right? So I see this balance. I know price has to come down to it. I could take a buy right here, set my stop right below it, and then look, we push up, right? Same. You have this balance here. Needs to get pushed down into. What happens right here? Pushes into it. Price tries to reject. Price accepts it as fair, pushes through it, and now we confirm the fair price here because you see this is where price starts to go sideways. So as it pushed out of it and pushes back down into it, this is where price is fair at. That's why I know that all of this is unfair price, right? So how do I know where price is going to push into? Right here, first 10 minutes. Where am I going to be looking for? I'm going to look for this balance right here because this is the highest one up, the next one, right? Because you can see that this is the one that hasn't been delivered to yet. What do I mean by that? Well, we can go and check, right? Has price come down and touched the halfway of this one yet? Yes. Okay, so this one's been delivered to and it's off my chart. Has price come and touched into this balance yet? Yes. Okay, it's off my chart. Has price touched into this balance yet? Oh no, price hasn't touched into this balance yet, right? Like assuming that I'm right here in the market, right? On my entry, right? So where am I going to target? I'm going to target to right here. Where does price come into? To the tick, right here, right? I need to fix this. It needs to be right there, right? So we're going to, from this push up, where it starts to consolidate, to where it breaks the structure, right? Where does price come to? Oh, what do you fucking know? Almost like it's a math equation, right? Oh, that's funny. It's almost like there's an equation that runs this whole thing. That's really weird. Where does price push up to 3 times? How do I know? Oh man, it's so fucking hard. No, it's not. You guys, if you just look at the market like this every single day, you can know exactly where price is going to move. I don't know exactly when it's going to move, but I know that price isn't going to sit here and just rocket through this. It's not going to just like ignore it like this. It's going to come up to it, it's going to react, and it's going to, decide what it wants to do. Okay, so we come up. Price is still fair right here, right? Price doesn't need to go any higher. It's still fair. All right. So then that would have been my trade right there, right? So now let's come into the next London session. All right. Boom, boom. All right, we got a close outside right here. So I'm going to target the next undelivered balance up, which is going to be this right here, right? You see this? Right, because if I go and I draw a vertical line, right, it hasn't been touched, right, so it hasn't been redelivered anywhere right here. This is my entry, okay, where do I want to target at? Well, what do you fucking know? Where does it push up to, right? And you could even say it's probably this entire one right here, yeah. But like I said, my rule for the strategy is to always target the first zone, okay, so boom, we would have hit another take profit right there. Alright, now we go live our life, right? We don't even have to look at the chart all day long. I'm just fucking cheap, bro. Like, I don't want to pay them for data. US 30, I think, is ES. Pretty sure. Or no, YM is US 30. ES might be the S&P. It's one or the other, dude. I don't know. I don't really trade ES, so I have no idea. But I just use it because I don't want to pay for data, right? Like if I go to this, and the only difference between NQ and NAS is going to be the price, right? So like it's going to have a different price, but the movement of the candle and everything else, yeah, that's what I thought. US 30 is YM. But the movement of the candles is going to be the exact same. So that's why I just use this, right? I don't have to pay for their data because I already get it whenever I use like any of these. Anything with Project X, you get the data, right? So I think I took a fat loss on this one, yeah. But you get the data for free. So like I don't have to worry about paying them for it. I can just use this whenever I want, right? These are my Buellnox accounts. I trade them kind of aggressive because I have a bunch of funded accounts with them already, and I have some that were on sale that just rebill. So I just trade them aggressive until they pass. Because I'm already maxed with the company, so I don't really need them. I'm just like kind of stacking up some on the back burner since I got to sell. Uh, but okay. Right now, last night, Tokyo, 10 minutes. Wait on a close outside. Alright, I'm going to go look for balance. Where's the next balance? Right here. Where does price push up to exactly? To the fucking tick. Right there. Yeah, and I'll post this on my YouTube so you can go back and watch it. Um, and then that way you can like, any questions you have, you can go back and you can look at it, and then you should be able to figure it out from there. Yeah. But see, and I'm not getting greedy, right? I'm not like, oh, there's another balance up here. I need the top one. I need the top one. I need it, because I don't. Like, is it gonna push into it? Probably. But am I perfectly okay with 950 to? Am I perfectly okay with 25 points on Nasdaq? Yes, the fuck I am. Right, 25 points and then off to live my life. And then this is the only one this week that would have lost on this right here. You would have got the closeout, and then you would have got stopped. Yeah, last week was my first week, so I'm excited. Hopefully some people find some value in this, and they learn how to make some money. Because I mean, I want my group to grow, but I really don't care, right? Like I tell everyone there, like I don't care about the money. That's why my subscription fees are so low. I'm just trying to teach people how to trade so that we can collectively pool our money together and like do real investment shit, right? Like I want to be able to build a team of people that are like-minded that I know can make their own money. So why not teach people how to trade if I'm already profitable, and then extend an invitation to the people that I see that are serious about this to like invest. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. That's the only reason I started this group, is basically to teach people so that I can, you know, it's the same concept as prop firms, right? Like they can't take every single trade, they don't see every single trade. Why not just have a bunch of money and be able to diversify your trading income, right? So same. I just don't directly make money from the trades. It's more like you guys learn how to do it, and then we can invest together if you choose so. Um, but that way, at least then I have long-term benefit, and so do you. Cause like the group shit, it's cool, but it's like it's a lot of work, and it doesn't really. It's not like it pays a whole lot. So, I mean, I could take like one trade and make the entire month's worth of the subscriptions. So, that's what I'm doing. I'll show you guys my Discord before I hop off. Here is our Discord server. I will post a link one more time for you guys. Tomorrow we have a giveaway, right? Sorry. Um, That's weird. I don't know why. Oh, it's every other Saturday. I need to fix that. Um, Tomorrow we will have a giveaway for a 50k funded futures eval. My bad, my mind went blank for a second. You don't have to be a VIP member. You can just join as long as you're active in the call. Whenever we do the giveaway, you will be entered. I have a admin here, and they have done like everything to make it like a giveaway bot. So as long as you're here and you're active, you'll be entered. Um, Other than that, we do, like I said, I stream every single day. And then on Sundays, we have a small class, which is right here. So my partner teaches this small class. We have a curriculum that we go through. All right, we're pretty active here all the time. Here's my partner. If you see him, this is my partner. His name is Tyler. Right. Here's our prop codes, if you ever want to support us. And we just try to make it a community. Like I said, like I'm trying to build a team of people. Benz, what are you doing, bro? Go away. My bad. My dog just like walked up and started sneezing right on my leg. Like, bro, go anywhere else. Like I said, I'm just trying to build a community of people. So, this isn't gonna be just trading. Here's our first giveaway last week. Dumb Money won it. I don't know how he's doing on the eval. Hopefully he's doing pretty good. But like I said, we post pretty much everything in here. Tyler's big on motivation, so he's always going to be posting some motivational stuff. Like I said, just takes a trade or two. We're all making money here. We all like to cook, right? And then in VIP, right, this is where Tyler will break down a lot more of his trades. I'm pretty much live every single time I trade, so I don't post a whole lot of trades in here. But you can see last night, like, live example of the New York trade, right? We had the close to push up to the tick, and then the rejection. Look, here's Norwood. He's in here every day catching bangers, right? Here's me explaining the exact same entry yesterday. So like I said, this is how I trade every single day. Then we have our small class. So this is where if you're trying to understand the way that I look at the market, understand the way that this is all just one big auction, you'll probably get the most value out of this because we go through and we take it pretty seriously, right? Like I'll give you a sneak peek of the course in just a moment. But essentially every week we have students that we require them to turn in their homework, right? We do an hour and a half class. And then every 2 weeks or so we will do a review to make sure that everyone is like up and understanding everything before we continue. So here's everybody's homework, right? Like oh, this is for them. I was trying to get everyone. I'm trying to get everybody to listen to me about recording their trades. Some people are taking it serious, but most of them aren't. Yeah. So like I said, giveaway tomorrow. You don't have to be subscribed or anything. You don't have to be paying me. This is just for anybody that's in here. If you're here whenever we do this, then you'll be eligible for the giveaway. All you have to do is just react to the message for the bot, and then I will show you guys my YouTube, and then I'll give you a sneak peek of the class before I get off, and just in case any of you guys are interested in it. Alright, so here's our YouTube. I try to post all of our free streams here, so if you want to watch more of this live, you'll see pretty much everything here, right? All of these are the exact same way. I'm going to upload today's stream here, so if you want to rewatch it, it'll be right here on the Speculators Guild, where is this? And then we'll give you a sneak peek of our class. So I gave a sneak peek of week 0 last week. I'll sneak peek week 1, or week 2, which is oddly named module 1. I'll have to rename that.
All right. What do we got? 11 people in here. How many people? Decision tree that you guys can use to make your plans. Okay? So what you're going to be able to do is objectively
Alright, so this is a little sneak peek. I'm going to give you guys like 5-10 minutes of this, probably like 5 minutes. And then that way you guys can just see like what we talk about in our classes, see if it's something that you like. We charge $50 a month for just the live streams. So like I said, I live stream like 9 times a week, $50 a month. The small class is, I think it's 2 or 3 months long, but it's $100 a month. So that gets you all the live streams plus the class once a week. And then any questions you have, like I'll answer them and help you like with the homework or whatever.
and intention. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the philosophy behind the approach, then dive into our 4 key concepts: breaker structure, oh, I'm sorry, might cut out there. Breakup structure, change of character, liquidity, and mitigation and acceptance. We're going to tie all that together with a workshop and a simple decision tree that you guys can use to make your plans. Okay? So what you're going to be able to do is objectively identify trend, direction, and strength. You're going to be able to spot early signs of potential reversals, because they're not all reversals. Identify high probability profit targets, which are our liquidity pools that we touched on in the first slide, the first module, and the difference between a false breakout and a genuine trend change. Okay, these are all things that we're going to have to notate and kind of figure out how they go. And we're going to use breakup structure and we're going to use change of character to kind of give us a roadmap into what price is thinking. Okay, what is market structure? Simply put, it's a skeleton of the market. It's a series of significant highs and lows. The critical thing to remember, though, is that the market is fractal. The rules for identifying swing high on the daily chart are the same that they are to identify them on the 5-minute chart. The scale changes, but the logic doesn't. This is powerful because it means you only need to learn one set of rules, okay? So as you can see here, I have 2 charts posted on here. We have one high time frame, 1 hour, 2 hour on the left, and we have one 5-minute time frame on the right. So as you can see here, guys, what I want to show you is that time frames are fractal. And even though we have 2 different time frames here, ultimately we're looking at the same thing. So no matter where you go on any time frame, you just have to find what you're looking for. And that's why sometimes you need to flip through additional time frames to get the complete story, right? If you're in a bunch of congestion or in a hot area, it's going to be very, very hard for you to distinguish what is what. So sometimes you have to move around on different timetables, different time frames to get the clear picture that you need, okay? You're never going to see everything on one time frame, right? You have to see the big intentions of the market, and you also have to see the small intentions of the market, right? Because we're futures-based traders. So if you guys are trading minis and you're trying to trade on the daily time frame, well, your risk is going to be a lot different than if you were trading micros on a small time frame. It's just how it is, right? So knowing that, we need to get all the information we can off all the different time frames that we have. So we need to have a story of what the broader market is doing, and then we need to have the story of what the intraday market is doing, because that's your difference, right? You got your high time frame participants, you got your market makers. They're looking at the overall higher structure of the market. Your daily retailers, me and you, are looking for intraday moves. We're looking at the intraday flows of the market. Okay, so depending on what side of the market that you're trying to trade, then you have to know, hey, look, this is coming up next, this is coming up next. And it's all very, very important things that you just have to know, right? So let's move on. What is our first key concept here? Our first key concept is the breakup structure. And a breakup structure is a definitive and decisive price movement through prior significant swing high or low. It confirms continued momentum, okay? Think of this as the market's way of making a definitive statement, right? This is when it tells you we are going to trend this way or we're going to trend this way, okay? And what I mean by a strong move is when we're coming to these areas, right? I'm not looking for a wick just above price. If you can see here in these diagrams, these points that I've taken, right? I have a strong candle that moves above this prior strong high and it closes with force. We don't want to see a wick just come up and wick through it. That's not a true breakup structure. That's going to get you into a false breakout or a trap of some sorts, right? We're looking for a concisive candle like here, right? We have our strong low, we have our structure. This strong candle breaks down through it. This is our strong close below, right? This is a breakup structure. This is on a high time frame chart. I believe that I took this on a 4-hour. So that is a candle that has conviction. All right. So in a bullish breakup structure, price breaks above a previous significant swing high, which is right here, and it keeps on going. So in a bearish, the same would be true. Price breaks below a previous significant swing low and ultimately breaks on down. So that is your break of structure. That is the market telling you that we are going this way, and we finally have enough to go down and make it through the next level, wherever that case may be.
Okay, so that's a little sneak peek of our second class. Um, like I said, I can't give you the full thing. My partner puts a whole lot of work into this. If this is something that you're interested in, like every single week we have a slide document, right? So we put together a PowerPoint, and then we also put together a reading so you can read along, right? What we go over, and then we also put together a quiz for you to take, right? So we go over a quiz at the end to make sure that you understand the concepts. So we're putting a lot of work in this. I can't sit here and give the whole thing out, obviously. But I will tell you that if you go to the YouTube and you watch last week's free stream, you can see the same type of sneak peek on the first lesson, because this was a second lesson, right? So right here,
Like, I don't know, at least like.
and I'll even give you the
200
time.
prep, anything this stream.
It's 58 and a half minutes, right?
I would
So
say.
if you want to see what we did in the first class, you're more than welcome to come here and watch this. I'm not gonna stream it again, but it is here. It's available for you to come and watch. And then, like I said, I trade the exact same way every single week, right? So last week,
Like on a chemical
right
level,
here,
right?
I'm not worried about it. Here we go. I'm just yapping. I have my stop in place right below the thing. My 10-minute zone. And I'm just patient with you guys. I'm not adjusting anything. I just wait on price to do what I expect it to do. Right? And then I just let my trades play out. You see right here, still
How many
2
of you
micros.
guys would have been stopped out and you wouldn't even be seeing this potential profit right now? How many?
Right?
Probably a majority of you, right?
So this is what I do every single day that I trade. If you're interested, like I said, you're more than welcome to come and join us at the Speculators Guild. We're doing a giveaway tomorrow. You don't have to pay at all. You only have to be there. And you have a chance to win a free 50k funded futures eval. Let me see. I think they're still doing their 50k. Yeah, the BOGO ends today. So, you know, if you want to get the best deal on the market right now, I suggest you at least take advantage of this, before it ends. They pretty much set the standard on the buy one get one. They were the first people to do it, and now people are copying them. So that should say plenty in itself. Let me see. Let me check the chat. Cass. So I will trade anything, right? No. Let me correct that. I will trade gold and at any time. I think it ends at midnight Eastern or 11:59 Eastern. So I'll trade gold like this in any session, right? So I will trade New York with this setup on gold, but I will not trade NASDAQ in New York with this setup. Today it would have worked, right? But a lot of times in NASDAQ you'll get this crazy flip-flop, right? And I just don't like it. I'm not very good at trading it. I get emotional. It fucks me up. So I just avoid it, and it makes me more profitable, right? Like I was saying, this week on NASDAQ, if you would have just only traded NASDAQ this week, I'll run through it one more time, and then I'm going to get off. Alright, first 10 minutes. Here's your close outside. Set your stop below it. 608 to... I probably would have got stopped out like here-ish. 648, so 40 points. Here, 97 to 14, another 20, so 60 points. It's 45 to 65, so 80 points. Oh 05 to probably up to here. 110 points. $40, 57, 140. Uh, 190. $220. Three, 220 plus 50, 270. $50, 300. And then this is the only one you would have lost on right here, right? Closes above and then comes below. So 300 minus 10, 20. So just this week, 280 points of profit and not even catching the entire move trading like this on NASDAQ, only Tokyo and London. Right? So 280 points, 280 times 20. Yeah. No, times 2. I was like, that isn't right. $560 trading 1 micro, right? 1 micro. So 2 micros, $1,200. Couple sessions next week, you pass an eval, right? So that's why I trade like this. That's why I'm systematic with it, because it works. Like, you literally just see me walk you through an entire week's worth of trades. It worked 9 times out of 10 just last week. Obviously, across a bigger picture, it's not going to play out as well, but you get the point. Anybody have any questions? Going once, going twice. Alright, I'm going to end the stream. I hope everybody has a good day. I'm going to post the link one more time. Like I said, even if you don't give a fuck about how I trade, it's probably to your benefit to be here tomorrow, because I'm doing a free giveaway. And you can win a free 50k eval for just literally being in my server and being there whenever I do the giveaway. It's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time. So I look forward to seeing you guys around. I will probably be here. I'm going to be here every Friday for the rest of this month. And then if they extend an invitation, I will gladly accept it and continue showing up on Fridays. If any of you guys ever need any help, just like I said, join my server, shoot me a DM, or just ask around in the chat. We have a lot of people active every day that trade just like I do, that understand the market the way that I do. And a lot of them will be happy to respond and help you grow. So, like I said, we're all one big community. Everyone there is friendly and respectful. So there is no wrong questions. Don't ever feel like you're ashamed or embarrassed for where you're at, because we've all been there. I by no means have been only successful in trading. It took me years to get to the point where I can manage my emotions and be able to trade like this systematically. So if you're still in that vicious cycle of blowing up evals and getting upset, and then blowing up another eval and getting upset, then come talk to me and let's get that fixed so that you can start making some money. I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming and showing up. Like I said, I represent the Speculators Guild. Check out the sale. It ends tonight. Buy one, get one free. And I'll see you guys next week. Or, maybe more. On Tuesdays, by the way, I do free streams in my server. So every Tuesday for New York and Tokyo, those streams are free. So if you want to see more of this, then at least you can get some free content there on Tuesdays. Like I said, I would love for you to be a VIP member, but I by no means need the money. I just want you to make money. So if, I trade the exact same way every single day. You really don't need to see it every single day to understand it, but I would love to have you in the VIP. Anyone that is VIP, Tokyo and New York. I don't stream London because it's 1 a.m. for me. I do trade it. I'm considering trading it more on stream. I need like, we don't have a lot of people that are awake at that time. So usually whenever I try, it's like 2 people and it's not really worth it. Like I'd rather just like take a trade, set my stop and profit, and then just go back to sleep, instead of sitting there and talking. But if more people show up, I'll gladly do it. Um, oh, and then another thing, for our giveaway tomorrow, I know you don't have to be a paying member, but if you are a paying member, then you get a weighted entry. So free members get 1 entry, basic VIP get 2, the small class get 3 entries, and then if you boost our server, you'll get an extra entry. So like right here, we need server boost. We're trying to get to level 3, so if you come and boost us, then I will give you 1 extra entry for every boost. So you don't have to be a VIP member, but if you want extra entries, this is one way to do it. If you just boost us, I'll see it right here on recent activity, and I will adjust the giveaway for the amount of boost that you give us. Alright, I'm out of here, you guys. Y'all have a great weekend. I will see you guys around. Just trade smart, trade safe, don't over risk. Like I said, 1 to 2 micros is all you need to make money in this game. You don't need $500, $600, $700 trades. You just need to understand the way the market works and be in it long enough to let that edge compound. So, hope to see you guys around. Like I said, my DMs are always open if you need anything. Yeah. Later, you guys. Have a good weekend.